So tell me, like in the last 30 years.
The last 30.
All right. Tell me about the last 30 years.
Okay.
If you had to pick out a couple things that were different on the business side from that you've observed in your own career between then and now.
Well, I mean, even we talked about this office that you walked into here. I mean, we made fun of it, but it seems like it was some executive that probably used to work in the. I'm looking at the TV and the color of the thing. I'd say probably worked in the R&B department. Probably thought, 5 or 6 years ago that this is what he would do for the rest of his life. Would be working at one of the biggest corporations in the world, Warner Brothers Records, signing important groups and making a wonderful, wonderful living with great benefits. And that just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it exists for Beyoncé's and perhaps even like for, Toby Keith, whoever we're talking about, but that part of it still sort of shocks you a little bit because we were just at South by Southwest. It used to be, there's the industry in the gold towers, looking down at the struggling artists and musicians down there and saying, good luck with that. We've got our mansions and limousines. I don't know how you're going to pay rent this month. And the whole thing is completely shifted, where now it really is, for better or for worse. I mean, if you're a reasonably successful artist and you're doing things your way, it's amazing. It seems like it'll probably be this. I think it's going this way. I mean, the things you said about Toby Keith and stuff, that it's no longer you no longer feel like people are at the mercy of this machine, and if the machine doesn't embrace you, it's never going to work for you. And if the machine embraces you the wrong way, it'll destroy you. This whole fear of like jumping into the music industry. And I don't really know if there's a music industry so much anymore. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you want to be Beyonce, you're not going to be able to just wake up and do that. But if you want to make music and you want to put it out, I mean, that's absolutely available to you. You don't need a record company or anybody that's involved in the record industry or music industry to even help you do that. It's all just happening. Yeah. So for me, and for our friends and stuff, I mean, that's awesome because it's like, just do it. You don't have to wait for someone to come up and give you money or, you just do it.
And what do you think was the best decision you guys have made business-wise?
Oh, the best.
In the past 30 years, or best one or two?
Well, I think the way that we did our deal at Warner Brothers, that's probably the only reason we were able to stay there and are still there now. I mean, I think we signed in 1990.
I think at the end of 1990. Yeah.
So long time. But I think even when we went into it, we didn't walk in and say, we want $1 million a day, and if this doesn't happen, because we were never really about that. And even groups that we knew that demanded so much, because I think they believed that everybody was out to trick you and to steal your money, and to battle against this, you would just demand so much, and we never really believed that. But it would be hard to know if that was true or not. But by the time we got signed, we didn't really care about that. We said that may be true for these other groups, but it's not true for us. And if what we would like from Warner Brothers is enough money to make our records, and if they're not very good or we're not satisfied with them, can we keep mucking with them until we like them? And the idea that we could produce our own records and they wouldn't have to come in and do all kinds of stuff. And then the kind of money that we asked for, they said, okay, well, if that's all you want, then we'll let you do that. And that kind of goes against the idea of, well, do you want to succeed? It's like, well, we do want to succeed, but I mean, we really love making records. And we didn't want someone else to come in and make them for us. We like exploring and doing our own thing. And this idea of not being very demanding means, well, maybe you're not going to be very successful or very commercially successful, or what can the label do for you? Maybe you're just better off on an independent. Well, we didn't think so. And then I think in this way that we worked, we just got very lucky that some of the things that we did, thinking that we're just weirdos working in the corner over there, would converge sometimes with semi-popular things, and we would
It's a couple of little blips.
Yeah, we would, suddenly find ourselves, like the Super Bowl commercial that just happened, or the Beverly Hills 90210. These things that are really part of, mega popular culture. But none of that was the intention. It just people being interested in the things that we were doing, and us being interested in doing something that we thought was absurd and didn't really care.